I was reading with my children last night in 1 Nephi 17, the Nephi builds a boat chapter, and had a thought I wanted to share. In the beginning of the chapter, Nephi recounts his family's experience wandering in the wilderness for 8 years. I pointed out to my children that this was longer than they'd even been alive, but he also mentioned the many miracles he saw take place during that time. He tells us that they did not use much fire because the Lord promised to be their light, and that their meat would be sweet even if it was raw. He marveled at the strength of their women even while having babies, which I have to tell you can be a really exhausting experience. He mentioned that things had been hard, but he didn't dwell on it, and he told of their joy on coming to the land bountiful with its fruit and honey. And he bore his testimony, as he had before, that when we are obedient, the Lord provides the ways for us to accomplish the hard things he's asked us to do. Not long after they'd arrived, he received that revelation to build a boat. But first he had to make the tools, right? And his brothers, those perpetual complainers, made fun of him for it. They said, "Ha, there's no way you know how to make a boat. By the way, don't make us help you. It's too hard." And when Nephi became discouraged, they rejoiced. "We knew it. We knew you couldn't actually build a boat. You're just like Dad, who made us wander around in the wilderness being miserable when we could have been living the high life back in Jerusalem and been happy. And our women even had babies out here, and it was awful, and it would have been better if they'd just died." Wait a moment. Nephi and his brethren all had the same experience, right? But can you see how differently they tell it? So let me ask you, what did Nephi have that his brothers did not? Perspective. Nephi understood that even though things are hard, there are blessings to be found. And when he focused on those blessings instead of dwelling on all the ways he was miserable, it was easier to see the Lord's hand in his life and remember his testimony and be ready to hear and act on promptings from the Holy Ghost. My friends, it's the same for us. Life is kind of miserable right now. It feels like we've been wandering around in the wilderness without fire forever. And sometimes we're being asked to do things we may not know how to do. But we have reason to be optimistic. It's not that things will automatically be easier if we change our attitude. Nephi says they suffered many things in the wilderness, but that we will be able to see the Lord's hand sifting through the awful and placing blessings right where we need them.